This is a face and voice many of us remember, especially those who live in Beavertown. Davy Jones was a musician and actor best known for being a member of the 1960s rock band, the Monkees. Jones lived in many places during his life, but after visiting Beavertown a few times, he fell in love with the borough and eventually decided to call it home in 1986. Jones first visited the area to talk with author Alan Green, who was helping him write an autobiography called They Made a Monkee Out of Me.
And this all happens here in little old Beavertown, Pennsylvania.
Jones used to be a regular at Klein Service Center in Beaver Springs, right up the road from his home in Beavertown. Over the years, Jones developed a close relationship with Bruce Hassinger, who still works at the service station. Hassinger says he and Jones would talk about many things when he would come in. He says there was a specific reason why Jones decided to move to Snyder-County.
He tried San Francisco for a little while, but every time he went in there to buy a quart of milk or bread or something, he'd spend an hour and a half talking about the Monkees. And there's 17, 18 radio stations, 5 television stations, and everybody wanted him to do stuff all the time. So he needed a place that was less traveled.
Hassinger says Jones bought a house on Center Street in Beavertown called Spruce Lawn. It allowed Jones to have a space for his beloved horses. Hassinger says over the years, Jones would split his time between Beavertown and another home in Florida.
And then I saw this place. Now I'll believe it.
On February 29, 2012, Hassinger and the whole world would find out the tragic news that Jones passed away from a sudden heart attack at the age of 66 while in Florida.
When he would go down there, he was down there for maybe 6 months before he would come back in the spring. And it was a real surprise to find out that he had a heart attack and died.
Jones's friends and neighbors wanted to do something to honor the musician's legacy. Beavertown held a memorial service for Jones in March of 2012. Hassinger was among those to speak at the service, recalling the fitting final line he had for his friend.
He died on February 29th, leap year, and now I'm a real bereaver.
Hassinger says one of Jones's daughters also attended the service and a prototype statue was unveiled. The hope was to get a real one made to put near the old Lutheran church Jones owned. However, nothing ever came of that venture. The clay prototype was going to be thrown out after the memorial service, but one of Jones's other friends, Tom Regal, decided to save and preserve it.
The legs were broke, the arms were broke, and I just started wrapping it in fiberglass material and resin and shored it up a little bit and made a platform on the bottom.
Behind me is where the former Lutheran church once stood, and it was supposed to be a museum filled with Monkees memorabilia. It burnt down in 2016, and everything inside was destroyed. There were still talks about trying to do a memorial, but that never came to be.
Fizzles out, yep. I think that's what's happening. Then after they sold the house in Beavertown, it's like nowhere to come back to.
Hassinger says the Beavertown community was disappointed when plans for the museum fell through. He tells us everything that was once purchased is now gone. Jones was trying to pick up Monkees memorabilia all over the country to display at the museum, including an original Monkees sign Hassinger says was used during the band's last performances. The sign was also lost in the fire.
I will tell you that he had little notepads like these by his phone. Only thing is, they all were engraved across the top. It said, "They made a monkey out of me."
Jones's house still remains, although now painted a different color by its new owners. His time in Beavertown will be remembered by those who know him. Both Hassinger and Riggle say Jones never made them feel like he was above them. He acted just like a regular person when they monkeyed around. As for any plans for a statue, museum, or memorial of Jones here in Beavertown, both men say it's old history. Justin Gick, Newswatch 16, Snyder County.